What's up? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. Happy Saturday morning to y'all, even though it uh, seems like it's night because it's so dark out because we got a thunderstorm going on this morning. But anyway, yeah, it is Saturday morning, and we do what we usually do on the weekend. We usually review a couple of albums, songs, or we get into some topics on a Saturday morning review. But today, I'm gonna take. We're actually gonna do a review of a song, and then we're gonna get to some comments after. Now, this has to do with the 38 Spesh Jadakiss somewhat beef controversy that's been going on of late. And before we review the song Aroma by Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Stove God Cooks, I want to get into the whole backstory, and then we're going to set up the podcast comments after the song. So, of course, 38 Spesh called out Jadakiss for not trying to get at him on a feature. And 38 Spesh said, Jadakiss is ducking my feature cause ever since Sunday School, which was, I want to say 8 years ago on Benny the Butcher's Plugs I Met. He's been ducking me because he knows I'll eat him on a feature, right? And people thought it was somewhat, he was just saying it jokingly and facetiously, but nah, he did a whole podcast tour basically doubling down on that, saying, he can't out-rap me on a feature, blah, 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 all of this. So now into Aroma, which was a song that was debuted on Joe and Jada's podcast. And it seems like the last verse, Jadakiss was talking directly to 38 Spesh with a rebuttal line, is this really about a guest verse or a career? It's more, it was a shot, but the whole verse was like a warning to him, like, I hope you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? But let's get into talking about the song first overall as to what I thought about the song. Then I'll play a short clip, hope I don't get copyrighted for it, of a little bit of Jadakiss's verse. And I'll give you my take on it. Hold on a minute. That's 38 Spesh. We're going to get to that in a minute. So the song Aroma, Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Stove God Cooks. I don't know if this is on an upcoming Fat Joe project, a Jadakiss project. DJ Khaled brought this up on two Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcasts. Maybe it's on DJ Khaled's albums that's scheduled to drop. But I'll just start off and say this is a certified street banger. This is a classic. Got that, 2000s East Coast, street rap feel to it. And Joe is in his element. Jadakiss is in his element. And Stove God Cooks damn near stole the show. Stove God Cooks to me is, I guess he's a more street version, even though French Montana is a street rapper. But I think he's a better lyrically equipped rapper and better street version of French Montana. That's my opinion, because his hooks are out of this world. You know what I mean? And I just want to say, I like the beat. The beat is hard. I mean, the horns in the background. Fat Joe does his thing. And see, this is the thing. There's a difference between like the modern day street rappers of like the 38 Spesh, the Rome Streets, the El Camino, what's another one? Those kind of guys. And Fat Joe and Jadakiss. Fat Joe and Jadakiss, this is boss rap. And Joe had, even though he's not lyrically out of this world on this, he has a boss aura on this track, and he does his thing. with the first verse, definitely killing it. Then we get to the Jadakiss verse. And to me, I listened to it over and over again. I think he is definitely warning 38 Spesh. This is the tree you don't want to bark up right here. You know what I mean? I'm going to play a little bit of a clip of it. Hold on, let me get out of that and get to the Aroma song. I'm going to play a little bit of a clip of Jadakiss's verse. Hope I don't get copyrighted. And go with that. So let's go.
OG, I'm more like Juan than Ananobi. B.I.G. Frank Matthews, a splash of Kobe. Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, half Shinobi. I've been obliterating niggas for years. Is this about a verse or is this about a career?
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that right there. Trying not to get copywritten. But yeah, well, you heard it. You know what I mean? And he's basically saying, I'm on a level of OG Juan. You know, I'm not the guy you want to talk to. Got a little bit of braggadocio going in there, talking about Frank White and the big reference. I think that reference is somewhat to go ahead and let him know that you know, I'm the guy that actually worked next to Biggie. This is a little bit of a flex. You know what I mean? This is a flex verse. Definitely. And where he's kind of letting 38 Spesh know, son, you ain't on my level. You know what I mean? And you barking up the wrong tree here. You know what I mean? And really, you really, is this about a verse or you trying to advance your career or get points on your career off of me here? I just want to know if this is the case. You know, and it's kind of like, look, you don't want to go here, bro. You don't want to go here, you know, and definitely I think the energy is in there. The street energy is there, that this song has that street banger of the summer feel to it. You know what I mean? Overall with the song, I probably give it a solid 8. I say 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9, but this is a certified banger. Definitely, y'all check this song out and add it to your playlist. But as far as Jadakiss's verse, and you can hear the whole thing, you know, I just want to play a snippet to give you a feel for this. He's definitely letting him know it's like, you're not on my level, dude. Like, and I don't know what you're doing, but you better slow up. You know what I mean? And I think this was appropriate. You know what I mean? I didn't think Jadakiss should have flat out dissed him. Now, we're going to get to the second part of this, which is the whole controversy about the guest verse. You know, 38 Spesh has been trying to get a hold of Jadakiss and all of that, and he doesn't want to get him for a feature. And we don't know the backstory. We don't know if Jadakiss promised him a verse or you know, he said, you know what I mean, that he was going to bless him with a feature at some point. We don't know that. You know, we only know, you know, 38's been trying to hunt him down for a feature, but I just see a lot of contradictions in dude, especially when we talking about this, I guess interview he did / pod with Bag Fuel as to what really this is about, you know. And I got a lot of conflicting feelings on this, where I think 38, I hear you, but I think you went a little bit too far, bro. Well, I'll play it for you, and you guys could tell for yourself. And we're gonna stop and start, and we definitely gonna we're gonna talk about it as to what he's talking about on this. So let's go. Hold on, let me get the audio up first. Let me get the audio right.
Not a good song.
Well, let me tell you why I think it was a bad idea.
Khaled
I
joint.
think it was a bad idea.
Why was it not a good song or a
Well,
bad
let me
song?
tell you
Bad
why
idea?
I think it was a bad idea.
So he's basically saying he thinks the song is a bad idea. You know what I mean? Even though it's a street banger and it's a song he would love to make, you know, he's basically saying it's a bad idea. So he's getting into that.
Not a good song or a bad
Well, let me
song.
tell you
Bad
why
idea.
I think it was a bad idea. And I don't know who idea was. Maybe it was Fat Joe's. But to sit there and have 50-year-old men making a song about the aroma of drugs is not too appealing, my nigga. Like, who are y'all trying to aim for? Like, y'all niggas should be making songs about, like, the prescription drugs y'all taking to stay alive and shit.
All right, so I'm
You
gonna
know what
stop
I'm
it
saying?
right there.
Like,
I'm gonna stop it right there. I mean, first of all, that's not the point of the song. That was just a boss rap, and Aroma is the aroma of the street game, is what they were talking about. You know what I mean? They might have talked about the aroma of, you know, selling coke or cooking coke on the stove or whatever, and but it's basically the aroma of the street game. You know what I mean? It was figurative. This is a boss level rap song. This is a boss up rap song. You know what I mean? He really wasn't talking about actually physically doing drugs and smoking crack. You know what I mean? Like, why would you even make a song about randomly smoking crack? You know what I mean? So you're taking that out of context. And then you're trying to make a funny, sarcastic joke and say, well, they're 50-year-old rappers. They need to talk about the drugs that's keeping them alive. It's like, first off, bro, let's turn it on you. You're 41 years old. You got a late start in your rap career. You know what I mean? Because you're 41 years old and you just now getting your respect, I think, as a top level street artist. And listen, I heard 8 Shots. 8 Shots is in my top 5, definitely top 10 this year. I like the record, right? But it's like you kind of need to know your place. And it's hypocritical that you're 41 years old talking about, you a unk yourself, bro, talking about, well, they old because they in their 50s, when you're the one begging for the 50-year-old's verse for your record. You know what I mean? You need to get out of your damn entitlement, dude. I mean, where is this entitlement coming from? Like, you're owed something. And you hear this entitlement all the way throughout. But it's like, bro, you're 41 years old. Hate to break the news, you old too, you know? And not to mention, you want to talk about drugs and doing drugs. That's all you rap about is dope boy shit. You rap about selling coke and crack and all of that. And I got this dog food and I got fiends from 99 and all that other shit hooked on my shit. You just as bad. So it's like, the hypocrisy out of that statement alone, it just rings off. Anyway, let's get back to it and talk some more.
peptides and shit. You niggas should be rapping about peptides and motherfucking AARP and shit like that. What the fuck is wrong with you niggas talking about the aroma of drugs? Like, we old as a bitch. Y'all niggas 10, 15 years older than me. Talking about the aroma of drugs. Who idea was that? And then to diss me on it was stupid. A real drug dealer? Y'all gonna diss a real drug dealer? A nigga that—
And see, this is another thing too. We getting back to the whole, oh, I'm a real drug dealer. Like, bro, you acting like Jadakiss and Fat Joe was never in the streets, bro. Let me tell you something about Fat Joe. I'll tell you something about Terror Squad too. Fat Joe and Terror Squad was at one point the closest thing you had to the mafia if you were Latino, Puerto Rican, or what have you in the mid to late 90s. Fat Joe was a boss, dog. I'll just say this. I mean, he pushes buttons. He could push buttons to put, have things happen. I'll just say that. I'll leave it at that. Jadakiss the same way. You know what I mean? Jadakiss and D Block, Yonkers, like that, like, you know, going back to X, Rough Riders, they some real ones, real ones, you know. You got no right to say and flex because I really sold drugs. Or bro, they did the same, if not more. They called shots. They was the ones who knew the boys who was, you know, telling the boys on the corner to sell drugs. You was a corner boy, dog. I never heard nobody call 38 Spesh a boss for real. So for you to flex the, oh, I'm a real drug dealer deal, what the fuck is that doing, dog? That's like talking, that's like a, how should I say this? That's like a I would say a mid-level player on an NBA squad talking shit to the coach. Talking shit to, oh, I really played basketball. When the head coach done played basketball, won championships, designs plays, and knows a lot more than you do, dog. It's like you talking up to the coach that you better than him. And again, it reeks of entitlement. It's like, where does that come from? Anyway, let's get going.
I really sold drugs on a song. And Kiss, you spit the verse. You got fucking Khaled and Fat Joe as your backup dancers. You wearing a book bag that another man gave you. You spit the verse. You spit the verse.
What the fuck does the book bag got to do with anything? A book bag another man gave you? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? At the same time, backup dancers, bro. Wow, because they're getting hyped off of a song. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is the definition of who the fuck is you? Like, really?
Fat Joe, he more happy about your verse than his. Oh, DJ Khaled jumping on the couch. He don't know what's going on. He just happy to be around niggas. Khaled, do you speak like that when you around your Palestinian people, or you just speak like that when you around niggas? I want to know.
And see, that's an unnecessary shot, though, because real shit, Khaled is an influential dude in the game. Whether you like him or not, I mean, he is an influential Grammy Award-winning producer. He has hits on hits. He could help you out. You right there, you're like burning a potential bridge that can help you. I mean, DJ Khaled could actually help your label, help your artist. He could feature you on his album to get you more exposure. You know, and you just unnecessarily dissing him, talking about, oh, you talk to niggas like that, but you talk to your Palestinian people. What the fuck that got to do with Sunday? So because he's Palestinian, that don't mean he a real dude in the game. That don't mean like you. It's almost like you trying to say, oh, I'm realer than him. And I got bring more to the culture because he's Palestinian and he don't really know us. It's like, bro, DJ Khaled, from Jay-Z to Nas to Drake, even before they fell out, this guy is one of the most influential figures in hip hop, like him or not. You could talk about his Palestinian heritage all you want, but bro, he pushes buttons and he could help you. And he probably could hurt you. So I would watch who you talking to and who you're disrespecting, especially for no reason. Because, you know, you could go ahead and say what you want. He got the power to let's just say, you know, if you have several concerts or shows, they won't book you anymore. So you better watch who you talk to. That's all I got to speak on that.
And do you speak animated like that? Like, yo, when you around your people, or that's some shit you just do around niggas? I want to know this. We gonna talk this shit and understand this shit. I'm shooting everybody. Everybody gets shot the fuck up. You speak about an independent nigga. Think I need anything from anybody? Now back to this shit. That was a bad idea.
See, now this is the part that irks me the most about this entitlement. It's like, okay, you talking about I don't need nothing from anybody. I'm independent. I'm Mr. Big and Bad Street drug dealer or whatever. I'm independent, but you're begging Jadakiss for a verse. Remember, this is all about begging Jadakiss for a verse because he wouldn't respond to acknowledging your verse or linking up with you or whatever. Yet you're on here talking about I'm independent. I don't need nothing from nobody. I'm like, bro, what do you what is this about, bro? What is this about? You know what I mean? Like really, you're the one begging for a verse. And now you're saying you shooting at everybody and you here to take out everybody. With what? What you gonna do? You run to a podcast? That's your first move, is to run to a podcast after the song gets out and gets a little buzz. Is you run to a podcast to go complain about it. Oh, that's a real big bad drug dealer move. But hey, maybe y'all could tell me.
Idea. I don't want to hear no 50-year-old niggas, damn near 60, talking about the aroma of drugs. You don't want to hear that shit. You don't want to hear that.
And again, that's not the real context of the song, man. We know what the context is.
Shit, but y'all don't want y'all gotta play the industry game. I don't. So I speak. Well, I don't know.
Nigga.
I don't know. Y'all might need niggas.
Nigga,
I'm sorry.
we're considered.
I'm sorry. Listen. Okay.
We damn near blacklisted,
Yo, bro,
my nigga.
I spend all my own money too, bro.
Thank you.
And see, now he tries to make it an industry thing and say the industries control these guys and it disrespects the bag fuel dudes or whatever. It's like, bro, Jadakiss has his own label and his own artists, which have already responded to this, dude. He sent his young boys to go and deal with you. You know what I mean? Shows how much respect that he has his own label. Fat Joe for years had his own label with Terror Squad and has developed, damn near legends with Remy Ma, who's a female rap legend. You know what I mean? Of course, the history will pun. I mean, come on. Like, who are you? But like, oh my God.
Yo, I love that. Yo,
too,
talk that
nigga.
shit. Talk that
We
shit.
ain't got no
So
platform. We ain't got no.
Hold up.
All right, I've seen enough of this, but anyway, the thing that irks me about this is just the entitlement of this dude. That, I mean, you're 41 years old talking about, older dudes rapping about the aroma of drugs when it's like, bro, that's all you rap about. And you're an old head too. You unk status, my guy. Like, really. And then the entitlement of going off on Khaled, which was unnecessary. You know what I mean? Going on talking about how you a real drug dealer. Like, Fat Joe and Jadakiss were never real or aren't real, my guy. Like, and see, the sad thing about it is, if you would have went about this the right way, you could have made a call to somebody and you could have got, a man-to-man talk with Jadakiss. You know what I mean? And say, all right, what's up? I felt the way. I was in my emotions, I wanted a verse and had a man-to-man talk with him. You could have went on, if you would have played it the right way, you could have went on Joe and Jadakiss's pod, which has way more exposure than Bag Fuel. And you could have talked about your album. You could have talked about how, we need to link up in the future. But you're going completely left with it to the point where it's like, bro, this is how you make enemies, number one. And number two, I'm enemies in more than one way. Because, one thing is keep it on wax where, these dudes can go at you and affect your brand, you know what I mean, independent or not. Or, which I don't want to see it there, they got the power to take it to outside the booth, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Which we don't want to see, but yeah, they got that kind of clout. You know what I mean? And see, this just strikes me as a desperate attempt of him being emotional for no reason and the clout chase, because you got an album come out right now, 8 Shots, which is a pretty decent album. and you want people talking about it. So of course, you know, and that's what you're doing. So really, unfortunately, I gotta chalk this up as this is a bad decision, dog. Now you just want to talk about that song was a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea, bro. Because really, when you look at it, where's the win in this with you just making more enemies? You're just making more enemies, my guy. Like you're not helping yourself. Where you could have said, look, I want to come up to Joe and Jada's podcast. I want to have a conversation. Jadakiss is that guy. He'll have a conversation with you about it and talk about how you really felt. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the wrong move, my guy. Wrong move. And for a guy that I actually like, you know, I think 38 Spesh, if not now, is on his way to being one of the best 5 street rappers in this game. I mean, I got Ransom, I got Benny, I got Conway, I got Freddie Gibbs, and I would say probably 38 is probably right there. I mean, you could mix in maybe a Rome Streets in there, even though I don't think Rome Streets has the exposure of 38 right now, 38 Spesh. But yeah, you're in that conversation. So why do you want to do this? And it's like, for someone who's 41, you know what I mean? You need to know better than this, dog. You need to know this is not going anywhere. This is not a win for you. Like, where's really the win in this? So that's my take on it. Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Stove God Cooks, Aroma. Definitely check that song out. We're gonna be back with some new content coming up. I got a couple of comments to say, a little bit more on Jay-Z. We really got to sit down and talk about Drake if this is really Drake's summer. You know what I mean? We really got to talk about, is it really the Drake summer that was so publicized when Iceman came out? So we got to talk about that. So we got those pods coming up. But Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Stove God Cooks, Aroma. I'm going solid. Let me go solid 8.5 out of 10. I'll go solid. Check that single out. Street banger. And enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. I'll catch up with y'all later, all right? Peace.